Oh, now we're live streaming.
Yeah.
I just got a notification that we're streaming on YouTube.
Yeah, it says on our Zoom.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're live now.
I think it should be okay. Let me check the YouTube controls.
Look at that. We on live, baby.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I just got a notification that we're streaming on YouTube.
Yeah, it's up.
Yeah. It's up.
It's up.
Good.
It's up?
Yes.
Okay.
YouTube link,
Okay.
checking that.
So just can you monitor it, Chris? Because I don't want to.
I can. And for those of you who have the YouTube page open, that's fine, but just mute the YouTube output so that there's no echo in the mic.
Yes, please. So now that we've gotten all that together, I am going to start this meeting at 12:10 p.m. And before we start our business, I just want to acknowledge that we are conducting business on Native land. The Hamunga tribe of the Tongva Nation is the exact Native tribe that we are conducting business on. So if we can give a moment of silence for those who came before us. Okay, so now that we've done that, I want to call roll.
Dion,
Here.
Chris,
Here.
Ureni,
Here.
Ryan,
I
Ariane,
don't think he's here.
Mackenzie,
Sorry, my bad.
Connie,
Here.
Jessica,
Here.
Frida, Santiago,
Here.
David, Alex,
Here.
and I'm here.
Okay, so now that we have established quorum, I would like to, so before we approve the agenda, I want to reorder, or is the proper way to say this, I want to suspend the orders of the day so we can have discussion item A come first, so they can, or discussion item B.
Alex,
Yes. Yes, so you're suspending the orders of the day or the rules of the day.
Established quorum.
Wait, did you
I
didn't,
would like to, so before we approve Wait, the agenda, I want
wait,
to
wait.
order.
Chris,
wait, did you guys approve this agenda? If you didn't.
We're on that right now, Carrie.
Then just reorder. You don't have to make a motion to reorder. Just say you would like to put it in this order and then you approve it. You only suspend or do that after the agenda's been approved. So just reorder it the way you want it and then approve it in that manner.
Okay, so we're going to, wait, where am I? We're going to have discussion item A first before we continue on with our agenda. If I can get a first and a second on the motion.
I move to approve the agenda of May 13th.
Moved by Brittany, seconded by, was that Santiago or Frida?
Santiago.
Okay, seconded by Santiago. We're gonna do a roll call vote. Alex?
wait. We
Wait,
have to have discussion. So which item A are you moving?
So this is going to be
5A or 6A?
6A.
Okay, so that needs to be included in the motion.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
Should I say it?
Yeah.
Okay. I move to approve the agenda with the wait, how
Noted
do I say it?
changes, with the noted changes.
With the noted changes.
I second it.
First by Ureni, seconded by Santiago. We're gonna go for a roll call vote. I'm gonna start with Jessica.
Aye.
Mackenzie,
Aye.
Santiago,
Aye.
Connie,
Aye.
Ureni,
Aye.
Frida,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Ariane,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
and Alex.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Yay. We're going to have, we're now I'm gonna like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes from last week's meeting. Give me a second while I pull those up. So here are the meeting minutes from last week. Let me just blow them up. And if I can I get a first and a second on the meeting minutes?
I move to.
We have a first by Frida Ramirez. Do we have a second?
I second.
Second by Mackenzie Rivera. And now we're going to do roll call, starting with Jessica.
Aye.
Mackenzie,
Aye.
Santiago,
Aye.
Connie,
Aye.
Urini,
Aye.
Frida,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Ariane,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
Alex.
Aye.
Okay, so motion passes. Moving on. So we're going to start, we have public comment on non-agenda items. I don't believe there's any public comment. I didn't get any public comment in the emails. Is there any public comment on the YouTube?
Dion,
Yes.
are you okay with me briefly speaking about career communities later when Jason's on the agenda? If not, I'll make public comment.
Yeah, well, if you want, you can make it right now, but if you want, we could talk about it later. It's really up to you.
Maybe I'll go now.
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to update the Associated Student Executive Committee on some of the work that's being done on career communities in support of students. So one of them is that we have created a Canvas shell that has a lot of information about campus engagement, including all of the clubs, and a link to the master calendar with all the events that are happening on campus, and a link to Freeman Center workshops and a whole area for career exploration and career support. And we are just figuring out where to put that on the website so that students can access it, but we would also like to share the link with your executive committee and get feedback before it goes live with other students. I'd like to thank members of the executive committee for also helping us look at our career community app that we're developing. And we're planning on launching that in fall. And it will also be a convenient way for students to access engagement activities and find career supports. And then I would also like to make a request, and I'll send a more formal communication for members of the executive committee who would like to help coordinate engagement events by career community for fall. And I also wanted your suggestions on how best to communicate engagement activities that are currently underway to students. For example, there's a time mastery workshop being led by one of our success coaches this May 13th from 12 to 1. So that is my public comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. So we're going to move on to introductions and reports, starting with Alex.
So I also have to leave this meeting in about 5-10 minutes because there's a hiring committee meeting for the director of marketing position. But basically, I'm going to be having 2 events this month. And this Friday, or not really an event, but this Friday at my ad hoc committee meeting, the board of trustees are going to be joining along with, wait 1 second. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this Friday, I'm having an ad hoc committee meeting that's focusing on the facilities master plan, and 3 of the trustees are going to be attending that meeting, and basically just having kind of a panel discussion with on Friday be singular. So there's going to be a trustee Friday of this month from 12 to 1:30. about what PCC got right and what can be improved. And that's all.
Okay, thank you for that, Alex. Jessica?
I helped Carrie with some election stuff. Jordan and I are working on the website for elections, so that should be up soon, and about it.
Thank you. Mackenzie? You're muted, boo.
Hi, there we are. I went to the Friday on meeting with Ryan and the rest of his committee, and also with some of Connie and Jessica's committee members. It was really good brainstorming. I've been working on my preparation for whoever comes into my position for next year, and I'm also still trying to figure out Discord. I'm failing a little bit at the moment, but I'm gonna get on top of that soon.
Okie dokie. Thank you. Santiago?
Guys, happy to see you all. So for my reports, I continue working on the research we are doing. Kerry, we already ordered some components for the first prototype, so we are going to be receiving them soon. We also continue working on the how to eat healthy and how to live sustainable program that we want to incorporate alongside the program that we are creating, the PIDA project. And that's pretty much it for now, I believe.
Okay, Yerini?
So I had my committee meeting on Monday, and we're planning on having kind of something similar to Cry Scream like last year. So like a transfer celebration. So the idea is to send out like around 200 t-shirts to whoever signs up. And I thought what was done last year of like sending a picture of your acceptance letter was also a good idea. So maybe we can post it on our Instagram and just like highlight people and where they're going, just so other students can see that PCC students are going somewhere. So yeah, I'm still planning on how that whole thing's gonna work, but I think it's gonna be really cute. And we're still looking at our survey, and we've been sending back responses to some students already. So that's it.
Okay, Frida? Thank you, Yerini.
So I'm going to be hoping to have my committee meeting on Monday, depending on the availability of the advisors, as well as us having our Q&A sesh on Friday with Alex's icon. And after that, I think I'm going to be moving towards, I had shared this with a couple of people, and I will be bringing it up on next week's agenda, but I want to figure out if it's possible to have like a display at PCC for like the graduates. It's like there's not gonna be like a formal ceremony, so like if people like drive by, they can see like a pic of somebody. But like I will be talking about that next week.
Cool. Thank you, Connie.
Okay, so last week I had a joint committee meeting with Brian, Mackenzie, and Jessica. And that was really fun. I had my committee meeting yesterday, and we were planning out details for our next events. And I actually have a event this week. We have Ramadan, which we'll be posting on my committee's Instagram. And I think that's pretty much it.
Okie dokie. Chris?
So there was finally quorum at the ICC meeting last Friday. Yay. We did get the ICC bylaw changes or amendments approved. So that's good. Today, there will be an action item, obviously, on approving what emergency powers I decide to do given the approval of those bylaws. So that's the main theme, I guess, of my work in the past week. Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, David? Ariane?
I have a boxing event coming up this next Thursday. It's gonna be between 12 and 1. It's sponsored by Box Union. They're really cool. It's gonna cost $150. Really excited. You should all be there. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, so as you all know, tomorrow is our town hall, and we will be having, I think it is Alex, Frida, David, Ariane, leading the panel. I will be on the panel, but I won't be leading it. Alex will be hosting it. We will be having representatives from personal counseling, the health center, and from the Freeman Center, which is who's here today in our meeting. He is the director of the Robert Freeman Center, which is the career center on campus. And we are going to be just talking about what resources PCC has to offer in remote learning, or during this remote stay-at-home business that's going on in California. And so I think, but as far as my reports go, I think that's it. So we're just gonna move on to the discussion item, which is the introduction of Mr. Baquero himself. So I will let you take the floor, Mr. Baquero, and then you can introduce yourself and just tell us kind of what your role is on campus and what your ideas are for the Freeman Center. Wait, you're muted. Hold on. You have to unmute yourself.
There we go. Sorry, I had to get on my cell phone because we're having issues on Outlook this morning here on campus, but well, through the webmail anyway. Hi, everybody. Jason Barquero. I am the director of the Robert G. Freeman Center for Career and Completion. I've been at PCC for 5 whole weeks now. I'm in week 6. And so you want to talk about a career workshop. I had to transition from my old job to this new job during COVID-19. And so I ended my last job, I tell people, in this very same home office, and I started my first job in the very same place. So not much has changed there, but it's been a great transition. You know, everyone at PCC has been wonderful so far in this first little over a month, and trying to get to know as many people as possible. And now, of course, more important than anything else, getting to know the students, since there's nothing going on campus for me to be around students, or even the Freeman Center open, where we would normally see folks coming in and out. So did you want me to talk a little bit about my background? I don't know how much time I have, or
yeah, you can just, it's your introduction. You have
sure, great.
You need.
Great. You can cut me off if I'm talking for too long. And so a little bit about me. It's my first time working in the California Community College District, to be honest with you, but it's been my lifelong goal. I'm actually an alum of Cerritos Community College from many, many years ago. And that's where I first started before I transferred over to Cal State Fullerton, where I obtained my bachelor's degree there in communication. At some point, I went on to Cal State Long Beach to get my master's degree later on in my career. But I've always been very passionate about the work that we do here at a community college or city college. So I'm happy to be here. Most recently, I was at Otis College of Art and Design. For those of you that are artists and designers, you may be familiar with the Art Center right there nearby. We always like to say their direct competitor is Otis over on the west side. And that's where I was prior to here. I was their executive director of career services, working with artists and designers from fashion to digital design to motion graphic to product, you name it. So if we have any designers and artists, love to meet you. I spent some time there. I don't know, I couldn't draw to save my life, but I love working with artists and designers in terms of career development. I've been in career for 15 years. I started at DeVry University many, many, many years ago, worked there for 5 years in career development. Then I moved over to Claremont Graduate University. So if those of you are familiar with the 7 Claremont colleges in the city of Claremont, I was there for 6 years, working with graduate students in business programs and arts management programs in career services, and then also in alumni relations, where I ran their alumni relations department at CGU. After that, I moved over to Occidental College, which is not too far from you all there, from us there. So I was at Occidental College for about 2 years at their Hamitman Career Center. I was their Senior Associate Director of Employer and Alumni Engagement. So that's, and then Otis, and now I'm here now. So 15 years I've spent in higher ed, most in four-year institutions, other private, smaller colleges. But this is home for me. I'm really excited to be here. And so, like, I guess a little bit about what we do. Like I said, I'm, I guess, the inaugural director in some ways, because we've never had a director at the Freeman Center. Freeman Center is relatively new, right? Career Services has always been there for many, many years, but Freeman, as we know, as it exists, is something new that is building and it's growing, and I wanted to be a part of that. And so for those of you that haven't been, we look forward to inviting you at some point when we get back to campus. But the one thing I think the one big message I would want to take away from that I would want you to take away from my visit here today would be that the Freeman Center is 100% open. The staff of advisors, counselors, our job developers, our entire team is working full-time from home. We are taking appointments. We're meeting with students virtually. We've been meeting with a ton of students lately. First couple of weeks, I think everyone was, including ourselves, we were trying to figure things out, right? And then students have been just engaging with us, setting up virtual one-on-one counseling appointments, whether it's going over resumes or job hunting or doing mock interviews and all those things. We're continuing to do that via our, either through Zoom, or I believe our counselors are also using Cranium. And on the employer relations side, our team is still working with employers and organizations and trying to curate internships, part-time jobs, full-time jobs for our students and recent graduates. And as you all know, of course, our economy is taking a bit of a hit, a huge, huge hit. And so the job market has never been more competitive, I think, at least not in my career. And so there are opportunities out there. Are they a little slimmer? Yeah. Which means all the more reason for us to be prepared to engage with the Freeman Center, to work with us, dot all your I's, cross all your T's, as they say, if you are looking for some type of employment, especially over the summer, because it is a very competitive market. But we're here, we're open, and that's kind of a general overview of our department for those of you that haven't engaged with us. We do have a career readiness week, so I will be sending you all information. I'll probably send it to Dion to disseminate. I would be remiss not to promote that. We decided that at the end of the month, starting the Tuesday after Memorial Day, so I believe that is the 26th. So from Tuesday the 26th through Friday the 29th, we are doing a smaller version of career readiness. We wanted to do this big thing on campus originally when the semester started, is what they told me, but we decided let's do something anyway virtually. And so we're going to have a couple of guest speakers to speak to all of our students on a couple of those days. And then 2 of those days we'll be having mock interviews from noon to 4 on one day, and Resumania. Resumania, I believe, is happening on the 26th. And what Resumania is a 12 to 4 o'clock event where all of our advisors, myself included, will be all hands on deck, and we'll be taking in students, all of you all, as many as we can anyways, to do quick one-on-one resume reviews. They'll probably go anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. And so we'll be sending you all information about that. We'll be sending it to all the students, but I will send it to you, to this group first. That way you can help promote that end of the month event that we're doing to help students prep, especially those that are finishing off the year, that are graduating or moving on or transferring or whatever. It is a busy time for us. So we also have workshops that are ongoing every week. We have probably at least 2 or 3 workshops that are going on online every week. And if you want to get access to those, you go to our Freeman Center website. And if you go to workshops and events, run the drop down in the middle, it'll take you to all the different subjects that we'll be offering workshops, and you can sign up from there. The website is one thing that we're still trying to clean up a little bit. So if it's a little bit wonky, or if it seems like it's a beautiful site and we've done a great job with the design, we do want to put some things in different places to make it a little bit easier for you all to sign up for. So trust me, we're working on that. And the last thing I'll say is, and I'm happy to answer any questions, is I'm very big on suggestions. So please feel free, if it's not here, if you want to email me separately, privately, with any suggestions, any feedback, I'm in learning mode. So I need to learn as much as possible about the culture at PCC, not just the Career Center, but the entire culture at PCC, not just from the staff and the faculty, but I need to learn from you all. And so the sooner I learn, the more I know, the better I can make more informed decisions as we create programming and content for all of you. And so that's very, very key. But like I say, I can't fix it if I don't know. And so not that there's anything that needs to be fixed, but there's always room for improvement and to add great programming. So just because we're in this virtual platform and we may be here for a while, that's not going to stop us from engaging alumni, engaging employers. My goal is to bring in the hiring community and do industry events and do talks. We had a great talk with Nathan McIntyre's class, a professor of journalism, this week, where we had several students. So I brought in a speaker from the NFL Network. She also worked with Spectrum Sportsnet, covering Dodgers and all that. And so she agreed to come on. She's a friend of mine. And she spoke to the students for over an hour about careers in journalism and all of that. And they loved it. So I'm happy to do more of that and do a lot of that kind of stuff. So I open that up to you all to come to me with suggestions and we'll get to work.
Thank you so much for that. Do you all have any questions for Jason while he's here? We can talk about it.
I will say I did get a, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I wrote it in the chat, but like I looked on Instagram to see if y'all had a page for students, if you had like a center
Right.
page for the center. So I just said that would be like a cool idea, so you guys could advertise and like announce if you were having anything.
Well, we need to do, thank you for that. I did see that. We do need to do a much better job with marketing, and that's one of the things that I'm tackling. And we do need to have a presence in social, obviously, right? Our Career Center should have at the very least an Instagram account to keep everyone on top of that. So we are going to work on our social presence and just overall marketing of the Career Center over the summer. So we are not going to launch an IG page right now at the end of the school year, but it's something that we strategically would want to do over the summer as we head into the next fall semester. And we want to do it right. As you all know, anyone can just pull up and start an IG account. It takes a minute. But if you don't have the dedicated personnel, the dedicated person, and using the right content and knows how to engage, then it's just going to sit there. And the last thing I want to do is open up these accounts, right? And we're not using it. We don't have a plan for it. And we're not putting out content to engage you all. So one, I agree. We're already there. We're going to do it. More than likely, it'll be up right before fall. And then B, we're going to identify someone in our department. And who knows, it may be one of our professional experts, or it could be a student worker. In the past, at other colleges I've worked at, we've always looked for a really talented student worker that'll help us manage it. And to me, those are always the best folks, because they got the nose on the ground on what's going on at the college or university. So if you all know someone really, pretty badass, I would say, that's pretty good at social and all that, by all means, again, that's part of the suggestion. I'm sure we'll be hiring student workers or something at the center, even if it's virtual. Feel free to send me any suggestions, because I do want to make sure that whatever we do it right. But yes, the answer is yes, we will have an IG account at the very least by the end of summer.
Thank you. Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions? No? So
does that mean my time is done?
Oh, I mean, no. That was a text message coming through on my computer.
I'm kidding.
Sorry, no. So I just want to say thank you for coming to our meeting, and welcome to PCC. It has been a very exciting 5 weeks for you, I'm pretty sure, trying to learn a campus that you cannot visit, but PCC is honestly an amazing school. And when we do come back to campus, you're probably really going to enjoy it. It's very lively. It's a very lively campus. There's always things going on, especially from associated students, and in the campus in general, there's always things going on. So in the future, I hope that you all will be able to collaborate with each other, the organization, the Associated Students Organization, and the Freeman Center, on future events, that way we can reach out to more students and stuff like that. So I do appreciate you for being here. At this time, does Ms. Rose, do you have anything to say or add on to the Freeman Center introduction?
Just that as part of the career community work, we're very much looking forward to working closely with the Freeman Center and also with associated students to make sure that we're offering the opportunities that are most valuable to students, and also communicating out to students so they know what's going on. So we're very excited about Jason being here and getting to do that work together.
Yes. Okay. Well, I feel like there are no more questions. You all are free to stay here in the meeting if you want, but if you have to go, it is okay. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for sharing that information. Before you go, Jason, can you just repeat the dates of the events that the Freeman Center is going to have?
Yeah, I'll send the flyer. In fact, I got an email right before that. Again, a lot of this was very last minute, so I promise we won't be as last minute, but with all the transition online, we're coming up with content and all that. I'll send you all the flyer hopefully by tomorrow, but it is the best way to remember is the week of Memorial Day week. So it is the Tuesday after, Tuesday, May 26th through Friday, May 29th. I got that correct.
Okay, so like the last week of May.
Yep, last week of May, we'll send out more info. My email is jbarquero. You can see my last name on the screen there, just J, and then my last name at pasadena.edu. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or suggestions, and I'm more than happy to come back. I'm going to jump off, but if there's ever anything that you feel that I can add of any value. I'm working very closely with Sheila. I can guarantee you that, and a lot of other folks on campus regards to career communities and other stuff. But if there's something that's in particular to this group that you want to hear from me, more than happy to do it. Just let me know.
Okie dokie. Thank you so much. Thank
right.
you.
And
Thank you.
Dion,
Yes.
bye, Jason. I'm gonna also get ready for class, but I'm sending you and some of your executive committee members an email right now for follow-up.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Ms.
thank
Rose.
you
Bye,
all.
y'all.
Have a
Bye-bye.
wonderful rest of your meeting. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much. Okay, so during that, Rennie reminded me that I skipped over the advisors. I am so sorry. I apologize. So we're gonna go back to our advisor comments. Do we have any comments from our advisors?
Becky or Jordan want to go first? Because I got to put
I
them
have
together.
some commenting to do. You know, I just jump in anyway. So I have only good news to share. Wish that were true.
Oh,
yeah. So just some updates. They're working on fall, as you know. Summer went live on the 11th, I believe, or was that yesterday?
it was yeah, on the 11th.
I don't really know what day it is. So summer will be completely remote or online. There will be some exceptions, and I think I spoke of this before, except for those, they're trying to figure out a way for students who need to finish the lab component of whatever their degree is or their classes, how to get them on campus this summer to finish that in a safe way. As you know, some of us started coming into the office for limited hours per week, and that was going to start ramping up. But with the directive from LA County yesterday, I think it was LA County Health yesterday, about continuing the whatever we're called, stay safer at home. We're probably just going to stay with this limited schedule and not ramp up until probably summer, or until we get the go ahead from the county and the state. So when we do that, you know, Carrie and I, and we're working on finding ways that once administrators and staff come back more at a full-time level this summer, that we can ask to allow AS to come to the office for a limited number of hours. I know that may not impact any of you, but because that probably won't be till July or August.
Oh, I know I still gotta get my stuff.
Yeah, so we'll coordinate that, but yeah. So that's kind of on hold right now, that we're continuing to be limited on the hours that we can come in. So what fall is shaping up to look like is about 90% online or remote and 10% in person. No final decisions have been made yet on what that looks like, but if we can, you know, any of you can take a look at the state and decisions from the other education sectors. CSUs have now, as a system, come out and said that they will all be remote in the fall. K-12s, for the most part, LA County has said that they're remote for the fall. So most UCs, I think UCLA has already announced that they're remote for the fall. So when you look at the other systems, it is likely that we will be, if not completely remote, the majority remote in the fall, which means that moving forward, as you're leaving examples for your successors, please make sure you add notes about what it's like to lead in this time. And what what are some things you wish you would have done other than have time to prepare to do this, right? But what are some successful ideas that you've had? What are some successful accomplishments you've had? So those kinds of things, because that's, you're the so you're the mold right now for this in terms of student leadership. We haven't had a student leadership group who's had to ever go through this. So
Yay, us.
So just wanted you to know that in all of this, and we'll know more as the week goes on, that we're looking at announcement of May revised tomorrow or Friday, and some sort of budget update from the state tomorrow as well. We are currently looking at, as most of you know from the state, we are looking at a $54.3 billion shortfall. So how that impacts us is PCC is looking at a $30 to $40 million deficit for next year. So we are positioned well in a lot of ways because we, I think the last few years, the district has made really good decisions to try to keep us healthy and keep healthy reserves, et cetera. However, no one could have imagined a $30 to $40 million shortfall. So it's gonna really require difficult decision-making as we go into next year, and some really difficult decision-making and very deep cuts. We still don't have an idea about how categorical funding will be impacted, if any of the, if the grants we have will be cut or discontinued, and how that will impact students. So, we're looking at hard decisions. I know I was in meetings yesterday, every day, and it doesn't seem like I'm getting a whole lot of good news. But, one of the things I can say is, and Carrie and I were talking about this, I'm glad I'm on Instagram now. For one, I can see what you're doing. I can see all the things you're doing, but also it's created a community for me where I would just be looking at flyers, but now I'm one place I can see what so many entities are doing and departments are doing to support students right now. And so I would say continue to utilize that because it's all in one place. And it's easy to refer students. So I'm happy, and it's because of you all that forced me to go to Instagram. So something else, we're expecting a DACA decision between now and June. And so we need to be prepared. We need to be prepared to support our DACA students one way or the other. And the chancellor, I can send this to you if you don't have it. The chancellor's office put out some resources today to assist with that. The California community colleges are suing the federal government for excluding students in the CARES funding criteria, particularly because they basically excluded significant portions of community college students, DACA students, some vets, students with non-high school diplomas or GEDs, all these, the criteria. So the system is suing the federal government because they made a statement that they were arbitrary decisions. So anyway, so that's the big stuff. Also, we got the new Title IX regulations from our friend Betty DeVos. So I've been spending my time reading 2,082 pages of Title IX regulations. So that's what I'll be doing over the summer. So, but just so you know, that will create some changes in our processes for students on campus. So, love ya. Thanks.
Thank you, Dean Cobb. Jordan or Carrie?
Oh, no.
Okay, I'll go. So there's a couple things. I've been really adamantly working on stuff for elections as well as for flea markets. So I've been kind of occupying my time with all of that. So I'm sorry if I haven't gotten back to you in a timely manner, but know that you are all of you on this call are the most important people to me right now. So just know that I'm always constantly thinking about you, making sure that you all are well and doing that. Today was the first day in quarantine that I actually felt like myself when I woke up. I woke up at 8 o'clock and was like, I'm ready to go. So I went to Starbucks and I picked something up for my Buy Nothing group just to kind of give myself some energy. So I'm like this right now. So I'm sorry if I talk too fast for you all. So like Dean Cobb said, there's a lot of changes that are going to be happening, especially for you all in regard to going into the office and all of that. Wow, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I've been working with the people that I'm advising to make sure that their events are moving smoothly and things that they need to get paid for can get paid for. I was talking to Carrie, and I think a really great idea would be for AS to think about all the support staff that supported you all through this transition, as well as in fall, just to kind of send out maybe a couple of things, whether it's like a thank you email or something, because a lot of times our classified staff and our support staff and student workers often get overlooked. So I think it would be a really great idea to just come up with some ideas for our support staff. Also, I really forgot what I was gonna say. I should have written it down because a lot of things have been going through my head. Anyway, okay, well, if I have anything, I'll just email you all, but I hope you all are doing really well. I hope you all are taking precautions. Just the last thing I will say, I know this is a really strenuous time and things are getting really like extended, like the safer at homes and all of that. But I just want to reiterate the fact that these extensions and these, the county, especially LA and the state, are following fact-based science and not feelings, opinions, or anything. And I just want to reiterate, well, this time is really uncomfortable and it's a really, a trying time for all of us. We need to recognize that we need to follow these precautions as safely as possible. Because if we don't, then we will see an increase of this, as all of the other states that were protesting and all the cities that were going to the beach early on are now seeing an increase in COVID cases. And I don't know if you've seen the numbers lately, but we have over 1 million cases in the United States alone. And that's very, very scary. As the numbers increase, make sure you are also increasing your precautions when you go out, your things when you go out. If there's students that are sharing their discomforts or opinions, let them know and reassure them that we all have their best interests in mind, and send them resources if they have basic needs that need to be met or other things as well. I'm here for you all. If you have any students that are going through any complications or difficulties, send them to me, Carrie, or Dean Cobb, so that way we can equally we can give them access to resources that would be beneficial for themselves. And so without that, Carrie, your mask is cute.
Hi, Miss Shanina.
Hello. Hello. Hi, everybody.
How are you?
Hello.
How you all doing?
Sorry, Jordan, but we haven't seen Miss Shanina in like 2 months.
I know. Gosh.
We miss you.
How's everybody doing? So, huh?
Yeah, we miss you though. That's wild.
Oh gosh, it's so funny. You want to come back and hug everybody and like, oh no.
Oh, right.
Where's that elbow thing?
Spray him with Lysol first.
Right. No, we have a spray bottle of alcohol. My daughter thinks I'm nuts because I love the smell.
That's
So,
hilarious.
how's
Carrie, do you
everybody?
have, wait,
Are you guys all hanging in there? Are you working or?
I think the only one of us that's working right now is David and Frida, I believe, like consistently.
Andy's must go on.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then David works like 50 hours a week at Starbucks because
Oh my
they're
gosh.
essential.
Wow. Frida, you guys are still open?
A business is interesting. We have Postmates. We have Grubhub and DoorDash now. So my mom is like, oh my God, we have to get everything done perfectly so they don't judge us. So
yeah, the first thing I asked when I came back was like, Carrie, are they still open?
We definitely are open. My mom has like dinner plates that she has for her elderly customers now
Oh,
that are her consistent buyers of that. But it's cool. We're surviving.
right. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to buy breakfast or lunch and keep on helping you guys, supporting you.
Love that for us.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to my area, but take care, you guys. Hopefully we'll see each other soon at some point.
Yes. Bye, Miss Shanina.
Hey, take care.
Do you have any reports, Carrie?
Yeah, I just wanted to give you all a chance to say hello to Miss Janita, and so she could see you all because she misses you all too. So, hold on, let me take off the mask. Just really briefly, so what's going on is that tomorrow is going to be the candidates forum, and unfortunately, it is the same time as your event. So I was going to have some of you pop in. But instead, Jordan will definitely be there to provide his perspective as a person who's ran and served. So he'll have that perspective. Thank you very much to Jessica for helping me with the social media posts. She's put together a really nice slide so we can teach students what's a good one and what's a not so good social media post to put up there. So that's really great. Thank you to Chris and Dion. You all got the YouTube live thing working. I do appreciate that. Let's just make sure we get those things out to the public and that folks can see it, because I thought I'm still checking to see if we're expecting anyone to make some comments. So other than that, ARFs, thank you, Ariane, for doing the ARF. Don't forget to do those things, especially when there's money involved. And if you're, again, you need to have your budget approved, bring it to the group. Oh, and we need to make sure that everyone is up to date with posting their agenda. I'm trying to, hey, Abe. I'm trying to work with Frances to get her the right password so she can go onto Board Docs and post all your agendas. But for the moment, we have to put them on IG and they have to be 72 hours in advance. So that means you need to get it posted. If you're doing an agenda, you probably need to get it to whomever is doing your posting 4 days in advance. So that way it's posted on time. So now's not the time that we want folks to say that we're not transparent or that we're hiding stuff, right? So let's make sure that every way possible, people can find out what and when our meetings are. Make sure we post the YouTube link. So this may mean that you have to schedule your meeting in advance and then get the YouTube link. So that way all of that information can be posted. Today I was scrambling to find any of that. So, because the YouTube link wasn't listed and the one that was listed that I did have was dead. So let's just do a little bit more work in the front side to make sure it's working out.
Oh, that was my bad, Carrie, because when I joined the thing, there was a box that said live stream user, but I didn't know who that was, so I kicked it out, and then it wasn't able to come back. So that was a my bad on
you're doing better than I'm doing.
The streaming part.
So, but just really the big thing, my big concern was the agendas, because I'm seeing a lot of meetings coming up in my mailbox, and thank you very much for, even though you're not meeting with me, you're still sending me the agenda so I know what's going on. Thank you for doing that, but it's showing up in my mailbox 24 hours in advance. So I don't know if you've posted these with the required 72. I think right now people may not be really picky, but I think we should not let our standards slip. And you've run on transparency. So you all are doing fantastic. I appreciate you all. We are definitely trying to work on figuring out a way to get you all in here. And as we transition, and you've all mentioned this before, and it's funny, every year, everyone talks about the crap that the year before left them. I say, what files did the year before leave you? They're like, they didn't leave us anything. They left us crap, right? And you all talk about the same thing. So I leave it up to you, but if I have to do a little bit more monitoring on that, I will. We really do need to leave files and documentation and ideas, because this is the culture and tradition that you establish and that you pass on. Think about everything that you've all worked so hard to create. You want to make sure that that's passed on, and that's a tradition, right? So let's uphold that, and let's create this tradition. I love that you're transparent, that you're honest, that you're responsive. Let's pass those traits on down to the next group so they understand how high that bar is set. So please make sure you're writing this stuff up. Would you all like me to create a document that you fill out, that you put on Google Docs, that has the bare bones of what you should be submitting? Or do you all want to handle that? Because we need to make sure that we're getting some stuff in this year.
Well, I have already, as far as like leaving information for the person that comes after me, I've already started a Google Doc of obviously all the passwords of like the Zoom account, the Outlook, and then I have already like written down all the contact informations of the people that the president talks to. So I don't know if anybody else wants to have you create a doc, but I've already done that. I don't know. What are y'all doing?
Then can you make sure at the very least that everyone else is doing the exact same piece?
I think it wouldn't hurt to just have like the bare bones, just to have a reference point, and then everybody, if they want to add something like supplemental or alter it in any way, they can, but just have that like basic what should they have, just to have like a jumping off point for people.
I'll work and I'll send something out to Dion and she can modify it and then send it out. Okay.
For sure.
Thank you.
Last thing, two things is that we are in the middle of Mental Health Awareness Month, and the health center, the Health and Wellness Center, sent out a flyer that I think Ryan may have sent to everybody about the events that they're doing. And then if you've seen the OSL IG feed, we will be doing a mindfulness workshop as well as a conversation with Jason from Personal Counseling about how to access, and specifically how people of color can really access therapy and what does that look like, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions around that. So that's something that's great to post out there. So other than that, thank you all. We do miss you all. Sad news, the little cactus plant, the little one that I saved from the office, doesn't look like it's gonna make it. So I'm terribly sorry to that individual.
Oh no, is that David? David, is that your cactus?
I think it's Francis's.
Oh no.
I think it's Charles. Is it the one that has like 3 bulbs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Charles.
I'm trying. I'm really trying. And then Alex, there was something alive on your desk, which is decidedly dead now. So
what?
He had a plant on his desk that I didn't see.
Oh my God, girl, when you said alive, I thought you meant animal.
Well, they probably are, because there's nothing, their wildlife has probably come out in the office since we're not here. Oh, and I cleaned out your fridge and I threw everything out. So if you had Tupperware in there, it's gone now.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it.
Cool. Thank you, Carrie. So we're going to actually move on down the agenda to shared governance discussion. I haven't attended any shared governance since last week, so I don't have anything to say. Does anybody have anything to say about shared governance? No? Okay, so we're gonna move on to action items. So action item A, which is the approval of executive VP powers, brought to us by Christopher Thung. You could take away, Chris.
Yes. So, I just had it open, but I think I just closed it. Hold on, give me a second. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen. Is that okay?
Hold on.
Okay.
I mean,
okay, so these are the this is the letter that I sent out to Francis in terms of what I am going to change given the powers that were approved and granted to me last Friday. It's a lot. I can go over it with y'all, but I think maybe it might just be best to kind of just skim it. And if there are any questions, I can go ahead and take them. But pretty much I'm canceling regular funding. I'm giving stimulus funding to people for fall. Well, I don't know how that's going to look like, given what Dean Cobb said, but still the, it's here. The stimulus amount is going to be $150, and these are all the clubs that are eligible for that, and I listed all of them here. There are restrictions on the money that we give them. They can't spend it on scholarships, and the money stays in like the AS account. So it doesn't go into your TNA account. You have to go through Miss Sharon and turn in requisitions and stuff to get that processed. And in terms of service hour requirements for these, for the stimulus fund, you don't have to do any. So that's pretty much it for modifications to funding. For modifications for service hours, I'm taking away that requirement for spring 2020, but I'm still allowing people to turn stuff in via like a Google form, and I'm reviewing those individually. I'm also rolling over hours that they had in the fall over to next fall. And also I am allowing hours to be rolled over from this semester if they're doing hours this semester for next semester. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If there's any questions, I can take them.
Is there any questions for Chris? No? Okay, well.
All right, so I move to approve the ICC emergency procedures for spring 2020.
I move to.
I think the action item that we're voting on is to give you emergency powers authorization.
Uh-huh.
Necessarily the procedures themselves.
Can I see the agenda? Sorry.
Wait, unshare your screen, Chris.
Yeah.
I need to get the wording correctly.
Okay.
So it says approval of executive VP emergency powers. It says to approve the executive VP emergency powers. So, give me 1 second. So that's why I asked you the other day, because I thought we did that already based on the wording.
Oh.
That was on the agenda item, because if based on this, we did this already. It wasn't.
I don't think we did do it actually, because we kept postponing it since ICC wasn't having quorum at their meetings.
So now this is something that we have to vote on.
What'd you say, David? Speak up a little louder.
Sorry. So this is not something that we have to vote on because it wasn't part of our bylaws yet. But now it's part of our bylaws since ICC voted.
Okay, so that's what we're making the vote on right now?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. So we have a first from Chris. Do we have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Mackenzie Rivera. We're gonna do roll call. Frida?
Yes.
Jessica?
Jesus Christ, yes.
Oh, Ureni? Santiago?
Aye.
Connie?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye. Oh. Sorry. I'm used to my name coming after her. Sorry. Mentally, I wasn't paying attention.
You're in a different position than
Yeah.
she is on my screen. Mackenzie?
Aye.
Ariane?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
All right, motion passes unanimously. Moving on to approval of ICC budget or ICC spring budget 2020.
Yeah.
By Chris again.
So let me share. Yeah. So this is the spring 2020 budget. Essentially what it is that we are encumbering money from this semester. And I've emailed Ms. Sharon this letter to be spent in the fall. And so it's basically $150 multiplied across all of the clubs that you saw in the previous letter, down to a total of $10,950 for the stimulus funding. We have
how much money, like, do you know the exact number ICC has in
Yeah, I believe Ms. Sharon told me before we shut down that it was 40 grand.
Okay.
And Ariane can correct me on that because I know I'm really bad with numbers, but it's well below under the amount that Ms. Sharon told me that we had for ICC this semester before the shutdown occurred. But you know, it's just a really long list of all the clubs that are going to be receiving money based on that letter I showed earlier.
Okay.
So
is there a first?
Are there any questions on it though before I move on, or are we good?
Do we have a first?
I move.
Was that Connie?
Yeah.
Do we have a second?
I second.
seconded by Frida. Any discussion?
Can you please read out the full motion for the record?
Can we what, Carrie?
Please read out the full motion for the record. So it should include the amount and the account that it is coming from.
All right, so I move to approve the budget of $10,950 coming from the ICC account.
ICC Spring 2020.
ICC Spring 2020 account.
Not, yeah.
And then we have a second by Frida. Is there any other discussion from the board about this budget? No? Okay, we're gonna do a roll call vote, starting with Connie.
Aye.
Chris.
Aye.
Frida.
Aye.
What? Mackenzie.
Aye.
Jessica.
Aye.
Santiago. Urini.
Aye.
Ariane.
Aye.
David.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Woohoo! ICC got some money.
Yeah, for next semester. Well,
Well, I mean,
we'll
because
see
what they're gonna do with it, they're not gonna be able to do nothing with it this semester. So.
Well, I mean, next semester, given if we are still remote, we'll figure something out, or I'll figure something out.
Well, so they'll be able to do a little bit of something because by then everybody will have worked out a plan. You know what I mean? Okay, so moving on to Board of Trustees ASPCC meeting, brought to us by Alex, but Alex had to leave to go to a hiring committee because, you know, it's okay if he does that. It's his job, whatever. So I believe our meeting is next Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. And this is usually
May 20th at 7.
The 20th.
Is that next Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay. So, and in this meeting, basically the meeting is ours with the Board of Trustees, and we talk about our year. I'm pretty sure Alex explained this to y'all last week, that we basically have the whole meeting to talk about what we've done and how we've helped out students and how we've engaged students and what we've done throughout the year. And he also, I believe, told you all to kind of sum up your year within your position into like 2 to 5 minutes. I believe that's what he told me.
So
and an attachment of who's talking about what and for how long. He sent an email.
Yeah, he did send one out. So if y'all have not seen that email, please look for it. It's from Alex. It's a doc with kind of how the meeting is gonna go. And you know, when you're up there, you just talk about how much fun you had in the fall. And you know how this time has really made us innovative in how we outreach to students. And you know, it's not really ideal, but we're still doing the best that we can. We're going to talk about the town halls. We're going to talk about the movie nights, the Mario Kart, everything. You know what I mean? So it's not a time to be sad. You know what I mean? I think I was talking to Chris yesterday about just how we've had like a lot of fun, even though like, you know, whatever, but we've had a lot of fun this year. You know what I mean? And we've done a lot of good work. You know what I mean? And that should not be forgotten just because we're at home now. You know what I mean? And it should not be thrown underneath the rug just because we're at home now. We should acknowledge the fact that we've worked really hard and under like difficult circumstances. Bruh, we had 6 members. Now we got 12. You know what I mean? So like there's a lot of things to be proud of. There's a lot of things that we should celebrate. There's a lot of things that, you know, that we did good this year. And I want to highlight those things. I don't just want to talk about how spring semester was ruined. You know what I mean? Like that's inevitable. We know that. Let's talk about things that make us happy about our positions. Okay.
So Dion, can I add something?
Mm-hmm.
So having sat through many of these, I'm going to also talk to you about your presentation because we think it's really simple that we'll just go down the line and everyone's going to talk. And I know we've set you a little bit time limit of 2 minutes. Honestly, I would even go less than that. And then I would think because what's really hard is you have to remember that these folks are going to be sitting there in their homes with all the distractions, and to hear you all go on for 24 minutes straight, which is a long time, and you don't have the entire meeting. This is a portion of their meeting. They will still have their regular business meeting to conduct afterwards. So that's just a really gentle way of saying, I think you all need to be concise, and maybe think about somewhere in the middle that you do something interactive, or that you do someone's presentation is a quick slideshow, or something that breaks up the solid conversation. Because having been there, and especially last year, you all really need to adhere to this time frame, because at a certain point, people will tune out, and you really want this message to go through. So
Gotta love Han. He swears he's not a talker, but put him on the mic.
Oh my God.
He will talk for like 40 minutes.
And so that's what I'm saying. Maybe you do 1 or 2 people doing a presentation, and then one person's presentation is strictly like a PowerPoint, or you do something to break up the constant conversation, and you need to make sure, yeah, that you keep it, Connie, exactly. Keep it to a minute, because other than that, it's way too long. You will be, if you're number 12 to speak, you will understand what I'm talking about, because you're sitting there going, oh my gosh. So please, 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 and practice. You all need to practice this transition so that it flows smoothly, because you want to make sure, because you again are representing everyone, and you want to make sure it comes off well. Okay. That's all I got.
I pass, Frida. We're not doing that. Nah.
Can I say something really quick?
Yes.
So yeah, I just want to echo that. Like, I know sometimes during these meetings, when it's just me, us, the advisors, and everybody else, we tend to be a little bit more lax, and especially since we're at home and at Zoom, with our language and our vocabulary choices. However, because this is a meeting with the Board of Trustees, I definitely agree with Carrie that you need to practice what you're going to say, and definitely try to feel. I have trouble with this. I didn't back then, but I have trouble with filtering out language from my vocabulary that I use every day, like certain phrases and cuss words, right? But we have to make sure that we monitor those, especially when we talk to these people, because keep in mind, they are old, and they are, except for Alex, of course, and they are a little bit more, choicey with how they approach things as well. And so we just, if there's anything that you need help with, like if you want me to coach you through certain things, if there's certain things like that you need me to critique, or if there's a speech that you have that you need, let me know. So that way we can do a Zoom and you can practice in front of me, and I can give you some ways to sort of handle that as well.
Yes, I do believe so. Like, because I especially myself, because I worked with them kind of close this year, they're like the homies, like they're like the older homies, you know what I mean? So like having to kind of switch that, or like code switch into being more professional, is something that I need to practice on, because like I said, I have to remember that like these are like professional people, and you have to address them professionally. You can't really just address Mr. Osterling like James, you know what I mean? Like, even though he says it, it's really not professional to address him as not the Board of Trustee president, you know what I mean? Same with Dr. Indra Jonas. I know I call her Erica, but we have to just kind of remember their titles and be professional, because we are student leaders and they hold us to a certain standard, and we just need to embrace that standard, including myself. So during that meeting, I'm probably going to be like in the bathroom, but I'm going to be like somewhere quiet and somewhere where I can just be alone, and I'll probably have a virtual background so nobody sees where I'm at as well. So I would probably, I know Alex said to turn your Zoom profile picture to your AS photo, which is cool, but I also don't think you should have a photo. You should be present in the meeting with your face on the screen. not a photo.
Wasn't Alex gonna say only do that when we're talking?
Yeah, so we turn our camera on when we talk, but when our camera's off, we see our profile picture.
Yeah, I like that.
I agree with you, Dion.
I don't
It's
like
better that if we're there like the whole time. It's
Yeah.
kind of awkward if you just like pop in out of nowhere.
Yeah, because right now, who knows if Chris is at the computer? He could be like in the kitchen.
I'm not.
But I'm just not to call you out like that, but because your
Okay.
picture's right there, you're not really present in the meeting.
That's the purpose of this meeting, to have AS there and like be present. So I think that that's a really good idea. Like if they ask us to, just have that picture like already uploaded to your thing, so you have it.
Right. If by any means they say like if Alex Bucklehide emails us and he's like, turn your cameras off, then turn your cameras off. But like, nah, we're not gonna go in the meetings with our cameras off. That's rude, I believe. I want them to see you all because they hear so much about you all from myself and from Alex. I think that they should be able to see your faces, and at least once. I know in the beginning y'all used to come to the meetings, but you know.
Listen, me and Linda are best friends now, so I'm just saying.
Love Linda Wall. And Belinda Brown.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yes.
Yeah. I think Alex was saying that usually during the board of trustee meetings, only the board usually has their photos on and usually while they're talking, and everyone else usually has their screen off. That's why we were gonna have the pictures. Something like that.
Yeah, so I mean that's fine to upload your picture, but I just feel like because I just don't feel like having your picture on while talk, like, you know what I mean? Just, I don't know. Like I said, unless they give us like direction to turn off the camera, then I would appreciate it if your camera was not off. But if there's any other information that trumps me, then, you know, don't listen to me. But I would just prefer it if your camera was on. That's just me.
I also just want to mention, I like the idea of having your cameras on during the meeting because it does, you know, I agree. It feels like you're there. I understand sometimes folks have to pop off and, you know, but just remember when you're online, your body language and your facial, you know, as we say, your facial expressions, you know, fix your face. So you just want to make sure that, yeah, exactly, that you smile, that you look at yourself online to make sure that your face does not necessarily reflect something, like someone says something that you don't agree with, and make sure you're not moving around. I see a lot of folks touching like this online. I know a certain member was not wearing pants and got up, so we got to see a shot of someone's underwear. Please wear pants. Okay, just don't have dress.
Please put some pants on.
Yeah, okay, because you don't know what's gonna happen, right? So please do just dress as if, and you want to behave as if you're in that meeting. So again,
as if we're in the Creveling Lounge.
Watch your body language. That's my big thing. Yeah, pants, please.
Don't be
Bottoms,
Or just
bottoms.
Always, I mean, you know, always have your camera facing up. Don't have it facing down, please. But yeah, I honestly don't know what Alex wanted to talk about during this discussion item. I wish he could have said something in his sorry, I'm reading the chat. Polos in a white background. Yeah, that's what it was decided upon. Okay, cool. Well, I'm cool with that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say besides I hope you all are sending pictures to whatever slideshow we're gonna do. I don't know if there's a shared doc for that. But maybe because I don't know if Alex, you know, I know he sent out the doc with kind of what's gonna go on, but I don't know where you all are sending your pictures. If you all are sending pictures, are y'all sending pictures?
I sent pictures to Alex.
You sent pictures?
I think he made like a link or something on the email. But,
okay, I'll honestly, I'll just check back in to see. Please share pictures of what you've done with your committees. If you took pictures at your events, any of the silly pictures that we have from Seesaw, any of the pictures that we, honestly, Carrie and D-Cup, do y'all have pictures from when we were facilitating?
Ooh, yes. I know D-Cup has them.
Because
Facilitating the
at Seesaw.
When we were killing
Oh.
the game.
Yeah, I do. I have some pictures.
I'll have to look and
Okay.
see. I don't
Yeah, I
remember.
have some pictures.
Can we get some of those pictures? Because I feel like that's a highlight that everyone tends to forget about because Seesaw was so long ago.
We killed that. I'm just
Where do you want me to send those?
If you could send them to Alex,
Okay.
that would be great because we did do that. And still it's wild. The meeting that the Region 7 meeting that I sat in with David when he had to go to work. The other people from our region were like, oh my God, Dion, I remember you from Seesaw. Do you remember me? And I'm like, oh, no, I don't. Who are you? And they were like, oh my gosh, I loved your workshops. Do it again. So yay for that, you know what I mean? And I think that's something that we should highlight, that we not only have leadership on our campus, but throughout, like our leadership is recognized throughout California and it's respected, and you know, it is an achievement or an accomplishment or an accolade. I don't know how to, whatever. It's a joy to hear those things from students. And the fact that they remembered myself from so long ago, because it feels like that was years ago. You know, it's just something that I think it's, you know, good to do. And I think we should highlight how Club Rush was this semester. It was really organized, was really good. It was really cute, even though it was the second week of school and we was tired.
Hey, we played the video where they try to sing No Scrubs.
My
maybe for the banquet. Yes, Chris.
my concern is I, didn't have the foresight to take pictures of what I was doing in my position. So I don't know how to kind of get around that. I don't want obviously I don't want my presentation to be all just text either. So I'm not sure if I can get some.
Well, I mean, so I got some pictures from
Yeah.
last year.
I mean, I have a picture from Club Rush this year of all of us that we took, so you can use that.
I have some videos
Yeah,
and
Chris, I've got-
pictures from ICC retreat from the time I was executive vice president. So we could just throw them in there. It's the same people. It's the same people. We could just throw those in there.
I've got some video from this semester and some pictures too. So
Okay, all right.
It does look the same year after year. Sorry, we can find stuff.
I have a picture Carrie took of us collecting all the pizza for an event from Costco.
Oh, that is the cutest picture ever.
Like 30 pizzas.
Yes.
Bruh. Honestly, I would give it all up to pick up 30 boxes of pizza from Costco to the campus. Not even gonna lie. Have my car smell like pizza for a week if I could just, take it back to those times. But yeah, I don't know. Do y'all have any do you have any suggestions or anything else you want to add to our meeting with the Board of Trustees next week? It's crazy that's next week. So Wednesday for me is gonna be so busy. I have like a meeting with y'all at Board of Trustees, and I think I have a meeting with Dr. Jonas.
So Dion, question. What is the link for the Zoom? Has that been sent out to you all?
For the meeting?
Yeah, for the
No.
trustee meeting.
No.
Okay.
Usually that gets sent out like either Friday or Monday. Well, honestly, I think Alex gets it first and then he'll send it to me. In general. But I will ask Alex.
Okay, just
when
make
they're
sure
gonna send that out.
Yeah.
Should we, since this is Alex's last meeting, like this might be a little too late to get it to them by the meeting, but should we send them like something? You know how Alex always gives them presents and they love him for it? Like, should we send them something like PCC swag or something so they like a thanks much, bye kind of
So yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I know Alex, yeah, every meeting there's something and they say they're gonna miss it. Their little bling light up necklaces ties, things like that. So I don't see why not. I just don't know how we would get it to them because I only know like email addresses.
Can I just ask, you assume that Alex hasn't thought of this already? He may have something in the works.
Also, again, he's super extra. I don't know. Forgive my ignorance, because he might have sent them like
I'll ask him when I talk to him probably later on today.
But flip side of that, do you want to, maybe Dion or someone, do you want to acknowledge Alex because this will be his last meeting?
Yeah.
For the trustees, so maybe have a picture or something and just do at the end just an extra special, just go extra for Alex because he's always extra, right?
Yes.
And say
I'm
something.
down to
Okay,
do a little surprise.
Yes, surprise.
A little surprise
So
acknowledgement. Because
surprise
he's not gonna be able
everybody.
to get his plaque. It like last year, I know they gave Zainab a plaque, so they're not even gonna be able to give him that. They might mail it to him, but
yay.
So then you can work on it. I don't know if you want Jessica to make a slide or just one picture of Alex and just something at the end. But it's a surprise now since he's not here, so don't tell him, y'all.
we won't.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm down to do that. I have to find a really cute, embarrassing picture of Alex that's not too embarrassing.
I have one where he's at his seat that Carrie made me go run up and take because we were like making fun of him like during the meeting because he was like, hi. But like I have a picture of him in his seat.
Aw, down for that. If there is no further discussion, we're going to move on to appointment to college-wide committees. I don't think there is any. I mean, so there was the special. So Alex Bucklehyde emailed me and asked for someone to sit on the PCC Special Recognitions Committee, and what?
I said, what's up?
Oh, and Ariane already agreed to sit on that committee, so I sent him I sent Alex his information already, so that's the only one. We do have 2 appointments or one more appointment to the Election Commission Committee, which is Arem Kim. She reached out to me and she said that she would participate in the Election Commission Committee.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, and we have Jasmine Chan, who is a student. She went to Cardinal and Gold. She also reached out to me and said that she wanted to join the committee and that so she can get a little bit better understanding of what AS is and how things are run, I guess. So those are the 2 ladies who will be sitting on the Election Commission Committee with me. I will send you their information, Carrie, so you can email them whenever we need to meet for that. There's only supposed to be 2 students, right? Like it can't be more than 2.
Sorry. Yes, you appoint 2 students, and then Jean Cobb appoints another student.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a manager and a classified, I believe, or some other stuff. And Anna Davis, Jean Cobb's putting in Anna Davis is her staff choice.
Okay, cool. So, moving on from that, there is no bill acceptance. Public comment. There was actually something from a student. Hold on. That messaged us on the AS Facebook page. And she said that this is like something that I guess concerns her and that something we should talk about would be, she says she thinks it's, her name is Leilani Roman, and she said that she thinks it's unfair that students have to re-enroll in PCC for classes due to poor academic standing. They should be, or usually they are the last students chose for their classes. I'm guessing this has to do with registration. And not every student with a compromised standing flunks because I guess because of poor grades or poor. So she's basically saying that she thinks that students who have been on academic probation or unsatisfactory academics on the transcripts should not be considered last for registration of classes, because not everyone who has poor academic standing drops because they fail classes. Some of them have extenuating circumstances which makes them drop from their classes, and so she thinks that that's a policy that should be changed, and because that this population is a population of students that need more encouragement, if anything, and she would just like for us to have that taken into consideration. So yeah, that was just one public comment from a student. And we talked back to her, or we responded to her, but yeah, that's just something that was said. Moving on to announcements. Town hall is tomorrow. Candidates meeting is tomorrow. I'm probably going to be switching back and forth between both of them because I do want to meet or just look at the people who are running, because as you all know, the list was announced last night on Lancer Life, and it's a pretty hefty list. A lot of students we don't know, some we do know. And I think that's really good that a lot of students that we don't know are running, because that means we did our job. Also, shout out to Urini for marketing AS and the elections, because her whole committee is running.
Her entire committee is running.
Her whole committee is running. Whoop, whoop, go Urini.
Who knew that academic affairs would be the most hotly contested position? So good job. And good job to all of you to have this many students. I'm so impressed. 21 students stick is amazing. So really please, thank you all.
That's good. Yes, Dean Cobb?
Who's going to facilitate the town hall when you step away?
Alex. So Alex is going to be hosting the town hall.
Oh, it's facilitating? Okay, not you. Okay.
No, Alex is going to be hosting the town hall. I'm just going to be on there to make sure that it's streaming on YouTube.
Okay.
And
I just didn't know. I thought you were facilitating that one. So I was like, who's going to do it if you go to the candidates?
No. I will be honestly, my bad, I've been having a little funky week this week. So I will be sending out a email tonight with just the rundown of how tomorrow is going to be going. And so that people know what's going to go on. I'll be sending it to all parties that are involved. Like I said, we are going to have Vera and Nairi from the health center. We're going to have Jason Bacchero, the gentleman who was in our meeting earlier, from the Freeman Center. And we're going to have Dr. Allison, I forgot what her last name is, but she works with the personal counseling. Dr. Allison Johnson. She's going to be in the town hall from personal counseling. And they've all been screened with the questions that we will be asking them. And so they'll have answers prepared. But yeah, I will be sending out just an email to the students who are going to participate on how it's going to go down, basically what you're going to introduce yourself and talk about who you are, and then we're going to do the same thing for them, and then we're going to talk about the resources they have at PCC and all that stuff. Whew. And it's going to be a good time. I feel like, what other announcements do I have? There are scholarships still available. I know the flea market scholarship ended a couple weeks ago, but there are other scholarships still available. If you all are still wanting to apply for scholarships, I think the deadline for these are either May 25th, I think, for these ones. It's May 25th. So I would just
they have different dates for each one.
Okay, so I would just check Academic Works and see what, if there's a scholarship for you or a friend, let someone know that there are still scholarships available that are due until I want to say until the end of May, maybe the first week of June. So be on the lookout for those, fill those out. I hope you all are doing really well in your classes. Wait, Dean Cobb, do you have another announcement, or is your hand just up? Oh, okay. There's also the boxing event that Arion's going to have. It's going to be, I want to say it's going to be next Thursday. Yes?
Yeah.
Next Thursday. What time?
The room's gonna open probably a little bit earlier than 12, but I think we're gonna give some time for people to flood in. Flood, for the few people to show up. If it's hopefully it's a lot more, but so hopefully around 12:10 we'll actually start the class and be done around like 1.
Can you explain what this boxing event is?
It's like a private boxing class. I think.
Is this an AS sponsored event?
Yes.
Yes, it's like it's going to be a virtual room where they'll be able to do a boxing workout. But I have to confirm some things with Ariane. I've asked him to meet with me after.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I mean, you just announced it, so I didn't hear any other information. All I heard was boxing. I didn't know you streaming a boxing match.
No,
It'll be on Zoom.
It's going to be like a workout class, but boxing workout class.
Yeah, so they'll do some shadow boxing and maybe some abs and cardio or legs. I want it to be kind of approachable, but I still want it to have some boxing because it's a little bit more unique. Yeah.
Okay. If there are no other events, any announcements to be made, the next meeting is next week. Ooh, why we didn't catch that? Not March 20th, but May 20th, I believe that's the date. CC 212, please. So if you're going to be sending Francis agenda items, since we have to get it out like on Instagram, you're gonna have to start sending them to her tonight, not tomorrow night. That way she can create the agenda, and then Jessica can create the little flyer that they put out for the meetings in a timely manner. So if you have agenda items, I'm sorry, it's not Thursday anymore. You have to get it to Francis tonight. Is that okay, Francis?
Sure.
So that way we can just be in compliance with Brown Act and making sure students know we're still having these meetings, you know what I mean? If that is it, I would like to adjourn this meeting at 1:41 p.m.
I move to adjourn.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, oh, y'all don't want to adjourn the meeting? Y'all want to still talk? Ooh. Okay.
The meeting doesn't end until 2.
Wait, 15 more minutes of talking, Ariane. I got that. You feel me? So, first by Ariane. Do we have a second?
I seconded.
Seconded by Frida. We're going to do roll call. Mackenzie.
Aye.
Jessica.
Aye.
Connie.
Aye.
Urini.
Aye.
Frida.
Aye.
Santiago.
Aye.
Chris.
Aye.
Ariane.
Moi.
David.
Aye.
All right, meeting's adjourned, y'all. I will see you all tomorrow. What?
Sorry, can I was gonna say, can I after this is all gone, can I have Chris and Santiago, Frida, and Ariane stay after? I just need to confirm meetings that we've set up. I just want to, while you're all here, I just want to confirm the meeting times.
Okay, I'm gonna make you a host then, Carrie.
Okay.
So that way I can leave and then y'all could still be in.
Make sure to turn off the YouTube live stream. It's
Oh
still
yes, also do that.
Oh, okay, I could do that. So Carrie,
I love this close up on your face right now. It's like really me live.
Well, I really need glasses, but I also think I'm too cool for that. So you know.
Contacts.
All right, bye, y'all.
Hey, contacts.
Bye bye.
No.
Bye.
Bye. So, hold on. Wait, before y'all start talking, let me make sure that I can end the stream. Well, I really need glasses, but I also think I'm too cool for that, so you know.
That's
Wait,
not
how do
on the
I end
record.
it? Wait, hold on. Wait.
Oh my God.
So much stuff is going on.
Dion, I think you can just leave the meeting because it looks like I'm host.
No, it's because it's still like on YouTube.
Because it's a delay.
Oh.
It's a delay. It's fine. So it's stopped recording.
Make sure
My,
that I'm in the stream.
I think this live. Is that not a thing? Because mine says live on the top.
Okay, it's still live. It's okay. I'll go through and